Today we're going to look at the 5 most annoying blue cards you should be playing. Dream Halls let you discard cards instead of paying mana costs. That goes for the whole table so you can cheat out huge things. Back to Basics will teach that Joe to the Unifier player not to play a 5-color deck because their lands won't untap. Play Norset Porter of Veils. It's wheelie good. Stasis also deserves a spot. You don't want your opponents to untap, do you? But you're going to have some ways to cheat around that. Awesome. And finally, there's the tried and true counterspell. Counter their big threat, counter their game-winning play, and counter their commander for the 3rd time. Have fun. Today, we'll be looking at the 5 most annoying red cards you should be playing. If you're tired of control magic and counter spells, run Boil. You're just going to destroy all the islands. Take that, blue player. If you have a bunch of token-making decks at the table, run Aether Flash. It's going to deal 2 damage to each creature when it comes into play. Everybody loves Heartless Hidetsugo because it ends games quickly. That way you can get more games in. You love that, right? Now on to the favorite card of the Targaryens. Sulfuric Vortex is going to burn everybody during their upkeep, and nobody gains life. Blood Moon is also a must-add. Nobody should be allowed to play non-basic lands. Basics only. Basics only. Today we'll be taking a look at the 5 most annoying black cards you should be playing. First up, there's Shielder of the Apocalypse. That card draw can win you games with Lich's Mastery, and you can one-shot your opponents. Lethal Vapors destroys creatures as they come into the battlefield. It also has a terrible combo with Teferi's Protection. Have fun. Opposition Agent is also a fun one. It turns off tutors and fetch lands because you'll just get those cards. Sorry, opponents. No Mercy is also a must-add. Your opponents can't attack you because they'll just lose their creatures if they do. Mind Slicer might be the most annoying card because everybody hates discarding their hand, so put it in your deck. Here are the 5 most annoying green cards you should be playing in your commander deck. Berserk can pump your creatures, but it's more fun to cast it on an opponent's creatures so it gets destroyed at end of turn. Compost will let you draw a million cards because somebody's playing black at the table and it's a graveyard deck. Greater Good will let you cash in those big green meanings for card draw, and it's also a free sacrifice outlet and green. Elephant Grass won't let black creatures attack you, but it's also just a ghostly prison for any other creature. Watch your opponent squirm when you turn their commander into a forest. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the 5 most annoying white cards you should be playing. First up, there's Containment Priest. It shuts down reanimation strategies. Sorry, Carador. Friends don't let friends cast their commanders. That's why we have Draenith Magistrate. They're never going to get to cast their commander while it's in play. Flashing an Aven Mind Sensor while an opponent is trying to fetch or tutor is a great feeling, and I want everybody to feel great. Thalia really shuts down those Storm decks and those Spellslinger decks, so you should run it. Everybody hates Izzet. Blind Obedience will make all your opponent's artifacts and creatures enter the battlefield tapped, and you can also extort. Here are the 5 most annoying artifacts you should be playing. Yorick the Desecrated and the new Elish Norn are too powerful. Throw Torpor Orb in your deck and shut them down. If you're a deck that runs out of cards quickly, run Ensnaring Bridge. You can't be attacked. Then we've got the card where Stacks got its name, Smokestacks. You're going to make everybody sacrifice permanents, and everybody loves sacking their lands. If your opponents have decks that look really fun to play, run Mindslaver. You'll get to play that deck for a turn and make them not win. Then for the most annoying artifact of all, it's treasure tokens. These things are everywhere. It seems like everything makes them now. They're super powerful. Just run them. Today we're going to look at 5 annoying commanders you should be playing. Miriam Sentinel Worm has Ward and lets you make a ton of dragon tokens. Welcome to the House Targaryen. Zur the Enchanter will let us pull enchantments out of our deck, so grab some annoying ones like Necropotence and anything else that your mind desires. Then Urza is going to make you have the most insane mono blue artifact deck ever made. Take 20-minute turns with this Dirtle Engine Chulane. Your opponents love it when they don't get to play and they just watch Solitaire. Don't let your opponents play it all with Grand Arbiter Augustin. Your spells cost less, and theirs cost more. Today, we have 5 more annoying green cards you should be playing in your EDH decks. First up, there's Constant Mist. It's just a fog with a buyback of sacrificing a land. It's not like green has access to extra lands. Hall of Gemstones shuts down multicolored decks and only allows lands to tap for 1 color of mana. Titania's Song turns non-creature artifacts into creatures with their power and toughness equal to their converted mana cost. Really messes up treasures. Root Maze is green's Blind Obedience. All artifacts and lands are going to come into play tapped. Have fun in green stacks. Oath of Druids is annoying because it's absolutely insane. Players with the least amount of creatures are going to keep getting creatures out of their deck straight onto the battlefield. Today we've got 5 more annoying red cards you should be playing. First up we have Blood Sun, which is Blood Moon's nicer little brother. It just shuts down those utility lands folks love to play. Price of Glory shuts down those instant speed control decks by destroying their lands when they tap. Sorry, Mono Blue. Stranglehold shuts down fetch lands and tutors and won't let anybody take an extra turn. Tectonic Instability will shut down landfall decks and decks that love to ramp by tapping down all their lands when lands come into play. If you hate token players and elf players, run Smoke. Only let them untap 1 creature. No elf ball for you, baby. Today we've got more annoying black cards you should be playing. If you're tired of multicolored decks, run Contamination. It's going to turn their command tower and dual lands into swamps. Tainted Ether is going to make it whenever a creature comes into play. Its controller sacrifices a creature or land. Hopefully they have a lot of tokens, or bye-bye lands. Grave Pact is the original sacrifice payoff. Whenever one of our creatures dies, an opponent sacrifices a creature. If you're one of those degenerates like me that run Turgrid, you need to run Bottomless Pit. It's going to make everybody discard a card at random during their upkeep. If you want to have even more fun, run Oppression. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player discards a card. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.